Everybody you turned to gave you something. I mean, and how pleasing is that as a coach when you get 8, 10 efforts?
I think it's pretty indicative of what we've been talking about overall in camp, just a competition level from different individuals, and I think that kind of manifested itself throughout the course of the game.
Can you guys be a deep team that gives teams fits with your supply off the bench?
Well, it's still preseason, and once we get to regular season and rotations, that mind frame often changes. But I think overall, we can use different individuals throughout the course of the year to give us a lift.
How nice was it to see Devin last night get going, especially in that overtime?
Well, I think for his teammates, you always want the respect of the guys that you are suiting up next to, the work that he puts in before and after practice. For him to get into the game and have some success, it was good to see.
At the risk of putting too much emphasis on one shot in a preseason game, the shot that Andrew made to send the game into overtime, was that how much his self-confidence going into? Do you see a difference in Andrew this year? Or?
I just think overall the ability for him to process that moment and have extreme calm and be able to knock down that the shot shows some growth. I think he'd probably admit that some shots early in the game he would have loved to have made, but for him to be in the moment and be present then and knock down a shot, pretty good by him.
What have you seen from him during training camp? Was it did he go back to playing the way he did as a rookie and compared to last year? Or?
Well, I think every guy throughout the course of their career, seasons, day to day, confidence is a huge thing. Whether you're eighth grade or you're eighth year in the league, confidence is huge. And you saw last night his ability to get some post touches and also get some perimeter touches, handle the ball on the perimeter. So we'll continue to give him more. And he had an overall great summer. He's in great condition, and so he did some good things last night.
Do you have any updates, Jacque, on your 3 patients?
I haven't seen him yet this morning, but the report I got, both Victor and Channing are both still out for practice, and Willie is a partial practice for today.
What did the tape show you on your defense? You didn't force turnovers, but you got your hands on a lot of balls. You're in a lot of passing lanes, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think that was a good thing for us. Deflections, the number of them, the fact that late in the shot clock, we were able to produce some jump shots at the end of 24-second violations. But overall, being in the right position was pretty good. Cleaning up transition defense, which is one of the toughest things to do in this league. We'll get better at that today.
How pleased were you with their effort last night? It seems like the effort was there from a head coaching perspective. How was that?
Well, I think from beginning to end, what I saw was teammates really cheering and wanting each other to do well. So that was great to see. But overall, the concentration level was good, and effort level overall was good as well.
How did Evan look in his first game, and could there be a positive in Victor being out, and that it might give Evan a little more playing time?
Well, I don't know if Evan's playing time is kind of impacted by Victor being out, but there was an instance where Evan played the point guard for us for a few minutes in the stretch, and so his ability to have the basketball in his hands, we've talked about it before. A couple times shot clock's winding down, he was able to get to the rim, produce a shot for us, pass the basketball off the bounce. So I think he showed you what we've been talking about, his ability to shoot the 3, get to the rim, pass the basketball. He's a basketball player.
Tobias has worked a lot with your coaches on his shooting form, and he said he spent a lot of late nights working with Ben Gordon on his shot. That shot opens up his whole game when he can knock down an outside shot, and then it allows him to get to the rim, right?
As you saw last night, the game is evolving. Last night, Miami plays Lou Aldane, Danny Granger. Those are quote-unquote 4s. His ability to space the floor for us, but also put it on the bounce and get to the rim, knock down mid-range shots, and then you also saw him from 3 last night. So the combination for him when he's on the floor, we need all of it.
Preseason results typically they don't mean anything, but how beneficial can it be for a young team to go out there and get some results and help their psyche?
The world's about creating habits, and so yesterday we had an opportunity to create some good habits. Whether that's on the road, how you prepared for yourself, your first time through this thing, what you ate before the game, how you slept the night before. So some good habits were created, and we just want to be consistent with those habits.
Jacque, you have a couple guys, Tobias and Nick, who are both in contract years.
Yeah.
You talk to these guys at all about how to handle that, whether there's any pressure on them, don't change your game, stuff like that?
I haven't. You know, the great thing with us as an organization, we're pretty, synergistic in our approach with the management and coaching staff. So Rob and his guys have had plenty of conversations to let these guys know that they're important to us. My message to them has been, I'm going to coach you no matter if you're in a contract year or your first year in the league. I'm going to coach you the same. And so hopefully that puts a little bit of ease underneath their wings in the sense of just go play basketball. That's the best thing you can do.
When you played, was that your theory when you were in a contract year?
I think the most difficult time was the off season because you didn't play a lot of 5-on-5 because you didn't want to get hurt, things of that nature. So that was in your mind. But once the season got going, I think the instincts to play hopefully comes to the forefront. But at the same time, these guys are human too.
It seemed like last night there was a lot fewer defensive switches amongst your guys, especially in comparison to the last 2 years where there's a lot of switching between guys. This time your guys were fighting in between, over and under screens, and is that something we might see more of as the year goes on?
I don't think it's a message that we've changed. I think I remember from my first year saying at the end of the day, we love for everyone to stay in front of their guy and have the ability and the effort and the concentration level to guard that guy. It's a good sign that we're moving in that direction where we have guys who athletically and physically can stay in front of the offensive guy. We keep it that simple.
Okay. And how did Alfred handle those 32 minutes last night physically as far as just leading the team? And he had the best plus-minus overall as well.
Yeah, the plan, we didn't plan on overtime, those extra 5 minutes going into it, so that would have got him at about 26 where we wanted him to be. But overall, I looked at his stats at the end of the game. He had a couple shot clocks where he had to shoot the basketball, so it really was indicative of how he played. I think he was 1 for 8 maybe from the field. But good looks at the rim. I thought he had composure, especially the stretch. We didn't call timeout. He got us into something, and overall, pretty impressed first time out.
Where does he get his court vision from? It doesn't seem like that's something you can really teach, and you can almost say he's hiding a second pair of eyes behind his head.
A lot of that's formed in the womb and maybe that second trimester, and then when you're pushed out, you just have it.
Good enough. Thanks, Coach.
All right, okay.